Hi, this is Kyle Sabra from Green Hat Local SEO, and in this video, we're going to go over how your shitty AI content just got cooked. Google updated their search quality rater guidelines to go specifically after content like yours. But before we go into this, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, and let me know if you think I'm an asshole, or if I'm completely wrong about this, or if there's just any other videos that you want me to make and any other things that you want to see. So let's get into it. Your shitty AI content just got hooked. So Google released an update to their search quality rater guidelines, specifically going after AI content. Now, it's not all AI content. Google knows that AI content, generative AI, is here to stay, and there's no getting it back into the box. However, what Google does want to cut down on is shitty, mass-produced, unedited, copy-pasted AI content, like a bunch of these YouTube guru SEO bullshits are trying to tell you works okay. I know that you know the guys I'm talking about. They tell you about how they may create these mass page websites with ChatGPT and made $100,000 with one mass created website, and then last year they made videos about how all their websites got completely fucking wiped off the face of the earth, and now one of the guys is out of SEO, even just making content about creating AI agents. What's funny is this guy tried telling me how to do SEO last year. So these new search quality rater guideline updates are pretty clear, pretty straightforward. It starts here. If you go to, here's the URL for the search quality rater guidelines right here. It's you can just Google search quality rater guidelines download, and it'll take you right to it. It starts at 4.6.6 MC. This stands for main content. Main content created with little to no effort, little to no originality, and little to no added value for website visitors. So you can see here, it doesn't say that AI content is what's going to be demoted. It's content with little effort, originality, and no added value for website visitors. So, this isn't just like your shitty AI content just got cooked. It's really just your shitty content just got cooked. The content that you're not putting any sort of effort behind is going to be just demoted now, right? And I'm going to show you some examples of what shitty content looks like that is AI generated. So little to no effort, little to no originality, and little to no added value. And it says here, let's see. So content that is copied, reposted, or embedded exactly from an identifiable source. Content that is copied but changed slightly from the original. Copied from a changing source, such as search engine, results page, or news feed. So this is one thing that is going to hit a lot of websites. There were a couple of courses going out over the past couple of years about how to just pull from Google News and how to create RSS feeds and spin those and get your content ranking. Here's the big one. Content that is paraphrased from a single source or multiple sources. Content from a single page or from many websites can be summarized, reworded, or paraphrased by people or generative AI tools. Paraphrasing may be valuable, for instance, when an expert paraphrases the contents of a government policy in easy to understand language. But right here, let's see, reworded or paraphrased by generative AI tools. What does that mean? Well, one, it means that when you copy and paste ChatGPT stuff, Google is directly going after that right now. And this has been known for a while, but what they're also going after now too is paraphrased by generative AI tools. What does that mean? Well, basically, if you are doing things like downloading YouTube videos, taking that transcript, running it through ChatGPT, and creating a blog post out of that, you're fucked. Right? Now, that's not to say that there's no value in there, because we do that at Green Hat, but we no index those pages because it's strictly for readers. I take my own videos, my own content, and take the transcripts and rewrite those using generative AI. But for all the people out there who are taking videos from other sources, other companies, other content creators in their niche, and think they're being all slick by downloading that and taking the transcript and creating a ChatGPT created blog out of it, you're fucked, right? So that is going to really hurt a lot of people right now, because a lot of people still are not trying to add in added value for website visitors. They think that just because they create a chat GPT based on, the service they're creating, that it's going to be good enough to rank, especially if they put it through something like Pop or Quora. And that's no longer the case anymore. That never was the case. But now Google is specifically going after this. So there's this thing that you need to keep in mind. It's called, it's called information gain. And I've talked about this before. I did a webinar for the seven-figure agency group where I actually talked about this back in 2023 because it's such a big thing that nobody's talking about. Information gain. What is information gain? What kind of information is somebody gaining from reading your web page or your website? What are they learning? So if you are just using the same bullshit from ChatGPT that everybody else is using, you're cooked, right? Even if you're putting it through Pop or using Quora, because all you are doing is taking what is already ranking and just adding in some keywords, right? Google has caught on to this. That is not helping visitors, not helping users. You need to have some sort of information gain in there. You need to have some sort of new information for readers. So what does this mean? It doesn't mean you have to go out and do unique research. All you need to do is figure out what is not being talked about in the first 10 to 15 spots of Google and add that content in there. All it really takes is one or two subsections. Just add one or two more H2s, and that's going to be, as long as it's unique and not being seen on the first top 10 to 15 and is, closely related to the main topic, that is going to be what Google wants to rank. Google is hungry for more information. This is also why you can't get your pages indexed readily, because you're not adding new information. Mass page sites are pretty much dead now if you're not adding in information gain, right? So adding in information gain is the way to not get a low or lowest quality rating on here. Let's see, where's 4.6.6? Boom. Yeah, so it's a way to not get a lowest quality rating by adding in new content. So really, if you're writing a blog post, all you have to do is talk about something that people on the first page are not talking about. So this doesn't mean that you can just go in and pick a paragraph from Wikipedia or whatever. You can still piggyback off of other people's research. Just go onto the bottom of page 2, page 3, and see what topics those people are talking about that aren't being talked about on the first page of Google. You can even do something easy and you can scrape the headings, see what headings are being used there that aren't being used on the first page. Now, if you're writing a service page, it's a lot easier to do this. All you have to do is write about why choose XYZ brand, right? And put in your value prop or put in the history of your brand or talk about your pricing or if you have a specific way of doing things, write about that, because you know what? That is unique to your company. Your competitors are not going to be writing about your company, not going to be writing about the history of your company, why you should use your company. Google has not seen that before, and Google will want to rank that on the first page of search results, and Google is going to want to place you higher in Google Maps as well because you have that unique content in there. So for service pages, it's as easy as writing about your company or your specific processes or your pricing. Google's also really hungry for pricing information because nobody wants to talk about how much they charge, right? But if you put that in there, Google's going to want to rank you higher because that is new and valuable information that Google has not seen before. So the other thing too that I see a lot is, let's see, page 62, is people writing content just for the sake of writing or hitting a specific word count. This is new. Filler as a poor user experience. So filler is low effort content that adds little value and doesn't directly support the purpose of the page. The purpose of the page is for users to either learn about a specific topic, to buy something, something like that. But if, you run a Surfer report or a Neuron Writer report and it says you need to write 3,000 words and you write 2,500 words of bullshit, you're going to get demoted now. Google's going to know that this content is filler, it's fluff, it's not helping the user at all, and it's just there to fill out a page. And you're going to see this with a lot of shitty, scammy writers too, that you pay by the word, where they're going to write 2,000 words of content to get that, extra $20 or whatever, when really just 500, 600, 700 words would work. right? So Google has caught on to this. And this is why shitty SEOs and low quality SEOs who just go by whatever Neuron Writer or Surf or whatever spits out and do that, they're fucking cooked as well. They don't know what they're doing. They're just running reports and going by the reports. They don't actually put any sort of thinking or logic behind what they're doing. And the same thing goes with small business owners who think they know how to do their own SEO because they have this software. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just going by these reports, and they are going to get fucking cooked as well. So what does this mean? So you cannot just write content for the sake of filling out, if you think you need to write 1,500 to 2,000 words. Like, you cannot do that because Google knows what this filler content is. Search quality raters definitely will know what filler content is, and they're going to rate you low or lowest quality content because of all this stupid fucking filler stuff that's just there to take up space. So what do you do if you are using AI, again, ChatGPT, OpenAI, Claude, or whatever? You need to look into what's called chain of density prompting, which is going to create very information dense copy that has no filler in it. And that's exactly what you need to be doing if you want to create good AI content that's going to rank and not going to run afoul of Google Search Quality Rater guidelines. So a low quality or a low rating is appropriate if the page contains a large amount of low quality and unhelpful filler, causing a poor experience for people visiting the page, or contains a large amount of visually prominent filler that makes it difficult to find the helpful main content, causing frustration for people on the page. So this is another thing that I'm seeing too. There was a big trend, and it still is, where copywriters and CRO guys and things like that were telling people use lots of images, use GIFs, keep them engaged on the page. But Google is going after that now too. Visually prominent filler. This includes things like AI created images, any sort of GIFs and stuff that kind of break up the page. Visually prominent filler makes it difficult to find the helpful main content. So if you have too many images now, if you have too many GIFs, things like that, to where it hinders the person reading the page trying to figure out what the hell they're trying to fucking read, Google's catching on to this, search quality raters are catching on to this, and it's going to give you a low rating. Now, this doesn't apply to any sort of like Google Ads landing pages. But if you want the page to rank organically, you got to get rid of all this fluff. You got to get rid of all these stupid fucking AI images and shit, especially the huge ones that you go on your hero image, right? So make sure that you have dense information with no filler that adds information gain for the user, that has unique content that is not being seen on the top 10 that Google wants to rank. So I'm going to give you an example of lowest quality AI content. Now, this is for a company called Alaskan Plumbing. They are in, Clark County here. So they're over in Southern Nevada. Looks like in the Las Vegas, actually looks like Henderson area. So what I want to show you is actually what low quality content that does not add anything new looks like. So here is HVAC jobs. So it says a company is only as good as people who work there. Our company. So what they do here is they do write about the company, but you can see it's really generic and not actually giving users information. Here at Alaskan, we understand blah, 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 describe people find characteristics, focus on our team. So how much of this here do you think is specific to Alaskan Plumbing, Heating, and Air? None, right? Now it goes to open positions. Look at this. So it's got some open positions here, but that's about it. So you can see here the content is really thin. And yes, it's a jobs page, but people looking for HVAC jobs in Clark County, these guys are competing with like Indeed.com and stuff like that. How much of this here do you think Google or Search Quality Rater would see as helpful? What here is showing that there is effort behind the content with unique content on there? None. This page might as well just not even exist. However, it does, and they put it on here because their SEO doesn't know what they're doing. Let's look at the mini splits page. So looking for a versatile, energy-efficient heating and cooling solution. Alaskan Plumbing, Heating and Air's Clark County's trusted choice for mini split installations. So this is obviously copy and pasted from ChatGPT, right? Ready to enhance your comfort? Contact us today to schedule your mini split installation. Start experiencing the benefits of a custom climate solution. Links to their AC repair, AC installation page, our mini split installation process. So, like I said before, adding in unique content about the process for your company and what you guys do is a great way to add in that information gain. However, what here is new, right? Nothing here. This is a standard, pretty much standard installation process, right? So there really isn't anything new here that the user can't find somewhere else. And you can also see here what information, what is valuable here for the user. Are they learning how much the mini split installation costs? What sets Alaskan plumbing, heating, and air apart from the competitors? Does it tell them how much it costs? How much how long it's going to take? What the benefits are? Nothing like that is on this page, which is why this page would probably get a low or lowest quality rating. So it does say stuff down here, but we have to go all the way down here, and it's hidden. How does a mini split system work? Nothing really new here. What are the benefits of a ductless mini split or traditional HVAC? You can see there's really minimal content here that with nothing new in there. Can provide both heating. So really nothing here that isn't going to be talked about on any other page talking about mini split installation. And I can tell you there are dozens and dozens and dozens of AC repair companies, HVAC companies in Clark County. Nothing here is giving the user information that's unique. There's no effort put behind any of these answers here. Even though it's on here, it's really not attempting to completely answer the user's question, which in this case would probably be something like, who is the best mini split installation company in Clark County? There's really nothing here that's going to give a search quality rater any sort of confidence that these people actually put any sort of effort behind this page. And you can see it here. So the the website is not ranking organically for anything outside of, on the first page, for anything outside of their branded search terms, right? Even for something as easy as Henderson Plumbing and Heating, heat pump service in Henderson, even the HVAC jobs is ranking on page 3. So you can see here, they're not ranking for anything organically, and they're sure as hell not ranking for anything in Google Maps, which is their, where an HVAC company is really going to get all of their calls from. And it's because even though they attempted to put some unique content on here, what somebody who didn't know what they were doing would call information gain, they did it really bad. They put no effort behind it. There was no attempt to write unique content, to write content that's going to fully answer the user question with unique information. And that's why they aren't ranking anywhere. And that's why they aren't hitting anything in Google Maps either, because they ran afoul of the search quality rater guidelines. Aside from the fact that I can tell you almost for certain that they didn't use something like Cora, didn't use something like Page Optimizer Pro. There really was no attempt at SEO here. It was just they probably charged these guys $3,000 a month to do this and just provided this shit. In fact, I'm probably going to send this over to Alaskan Quality Plumbing and Heating just to say, hey, you're fucking getting hosed. So that's about it for this video. I want to show you how your shitty AI content is going to get fucking cooked now. So put some effort behind it. Don't just copy and paste whatever ChatGPT spits out. Don't just run something through Page Optimizer Pro or Surfer or Neuron Writer and think you're doing SEO and call it a day, because you're fucking not. You're just going to get fucking hammered by guys like me who actually know what we're doing. So that's about it. My name is Kyle Saproff from Green Hat Local SEO. If you want to learn more about what we do, go to GHLS.io. If you want to learn more about our free Until You Rank SEO program, go to GHLS.io and click on our free Until You Rank link. With that program, you don't pay anything until you're ranking in your immediate area for your keyword. That's about it for this video, and I'll talk to you guys later.